So I'm standing in the middle of a clover plot right now, and it took a year to get to this point. But this food plot looked a lot different a year ago. This is a Whitetail Institute clover plot. We came out here last spring and planted this food plot and worked on it throughout the summer, and we filmed almost every part of that process that led us up to this point. Right now it's February. The food plot is basically dead. At this point it'll come back in the spring. But I wanted to just make this video to show you basically how we planted everything and how we went through the entire process to get to this point. So it's April 12th, and Cody and I and my grandpa came out here to mow down where our food plot's gonna be. The main part of the food plot is gonna be a section running right by the stand that we've chosen, and it should work out really perfect for having a stand and a saddle from the tree that we wanna hunt out of, being that we have a cameraman and a hunter. So we came out here and mowed down where the food plot's gonna be, and we blew off a little bit of the grass before the blower died. In a couple days, we're gonna come back here and blow/rake the rest of the debris off, and then spray it and give it another couple weeks, and then come back here and till it and plant it. So now it's time to get to tilling and planting. Let's go. Well, I am back here at the food plot again today by myself. I'm gonna quickly rake off whatever I think needs to be raked off, whatever I can get done, and then go ahead and spray the whole plot. So it's gonna be awesome. Well, that's gonna be a wrap for today. Just got done spraying the entire food plot. Our tree stand is gonna be going in this tree right here. We'll probably have a tree stand on this side facing this way into the food plot, and then a saddle on the back side facing towards the tree to film. So I think it'll be a pretty sweet setup. So I'll see how much it killed it in a couple weeks, and we'll come back here in a couple weeks whenever it's dried up, probably blow off all the remains and then till it up and seed it. So we are back here at the food plot. It's been about a week or two, and what I sprayed didn't do too much, did a little bit. Grandpa is out here again with us. He's tilling the food plot. We got the seed to go in it. It's the Whitetail Institute Clover. Never planted this stuff before, but I got a 1/4 acre bag of it, and I wanted to plant it and do a review on it and possibly give updates throughout the year. So we'll see once. This is exciting to get this type of work done. Yeah, here we go. Okay guys, so that's a wrap for this step along the way. We just got done tilling and seeding the food plot. Huge shout out to my grandpa for being able and willing to come out here and help us with this project. It's pretty impressive because he's 84 and he's still able to come out here and help us with this type of stuff. So huge shout out to him. So overall the food plot looks really good. There was a part of it that we were originally planning on tilling down that we didn't end up tilling down because it was a little bit too wet. So we got a pretty good section carved out and planted. And the furthest spot from the edge of the food plot to the stand is going to be probably about 30 yards. So that should be really good for this fall. I can't wait to come out here in a couple weeks, see how it's coming along, and put out trail cameras and that type of stuff. So yeah, that's it for today. Got it all seeded, and yeah. Harmful if swallowed. Okay, nice to know. That's confusing. So we want 3 to 4 gallons. Looks like eggs. Just made it to the food plot. I'm totally out of breath. I started out with the backpack spray on my back, and it leaks. It got my back all wet in my pants. Made it back here to the food plot, and I want to spray this stuff down. Dude, this clover looks good. It's a deer bed right here in the food plot. All right, so I made it out here to the food plot. He mowed back in here, and then he also mowed a little bit behind there, which could, I think that'll increase the deer movement that goes behind there. It's been like that for a couple of years, and the deer really travel past there. So overall, the food plot looks not too bad. But, I mean, literally, look at this. I'm gonna step right in. That's up to the top of my boot. This clover and the weeds, for that matter, come up to, they're probably a good 14 to 16 inches tall. Probably at least 16 inches in some area. I was flying. I flew the drone over here the other night, and there was a doe feeding out there. So, I mean, that's a good sign. That I literally saw a doe on a fawn over there. Heard another deer blow back here. So there's deer in here for sure. So I'm actually not gonna weed eat this down. It's pretty well too thick to do that. I'm gonna actually get a legit tractor back here and mow it down. Got it down the wrong throat. No, I can't breathe. I got it down the wrong throat. I think I got Oh yeah, finally. There's no way she went this far though. Oh yeah. Yeah, it was a little back, but. So it's the middle of February and I am back out here to finish up the review of the food plot. So as you saw, I planted this thing in the spring and then it came out really good. There were some areas that had a lot of thistles. One thing I would definitely do differently is I would mow it earlier than what we did, and I would also spray earlier than what we did. We didn't spray till it was almost too late, and those thistles didn't really soak up the spray very well. Initially, we had a scare and we thought the clover didn't come up, but when we came back a few weeks later, we were blown away by how lush and green the food plot looked. It held that green very well, and especially there was one spot back here close to the stand where there was not a lot of thistles and it was just straight clover, super thick, lush green. It looked very good. And that part of the plot was better with no thistles, while the other part of the plot had more sun and also more thistles. We didn't have the drought here that some places did, and the food plot came out really good. So the first time we hunted this food plot was opening day, and we ended up having a great hunt, saw multiple deer. So right here over my corner is where most of the deer were coming out, and you could definitely see it was chomped down a lot shorter right there where the deer were coming out. And then as it went out further into the food plot, it got taller and taller. There was a ton of deer hitting this. They were using it pretty well every day. And the deer really just seemed to like this food plot mix. So as the season got later and later, the food plot slowly went down and it never died. Like even right now here in February, it's still green. It's a little bit of a pale green, but it's not ever gone brown. I don't know if that's what clover normally does or not, but this stuff is still a little bit green, even though it's just really, really short to the ground. So it'll be interesting to see how it bounces back in year 2 and year 3. I'm hoping to possibly do a little bit of frost seeding in this food plot, just to fill in some of the gaps, as well as probably make it a little bit bigger for this upcoming season. And so yeah, overall this food plot for the first year looks it came out really good. I wish we would have done it a little bit differently with the weed control. So for year 2, I'm hoping to do a little bit better with weed control, possibly fertilize it a little bit in the spring to give it a little bit of a boost, and then mow it periodically throughout the summer, as well as possibly move a blind up to be able to hunt this food plot out of a blind instead of a tree stand. That'll help with wind issues and a couple other issues. So as far as the drawing power of the Clover, at least in this specific scenario, it was fantastic. There was deer in here all the time. Like even throughout the middle of the day, there was deer in here, and it made it a little bit tough to get into the food plot without bumping deer. But I mean, obviously that's the whole point, is to get deer in here in the food plot, and this Whitetail Institute Clover definitely has some drawing power. Now as far as price, it's kind of what you expect. I think it's like 35 bucks for a 1/4 acre bag, or I forget. It wasn't bad, kind of normal price, at least what I would expect for a food plot seed 1/4 acre bag. I think you can also get it in a bigger bag that's for 2 acres. This here was just a 1/4 acre or less, and so that smaller size bag worked perfect for us. As the season went on, I did see the deer start to use this food plot less and less, and it seemed to somewhat lose its drawing power, at least a little bit, as the season progressed. It might also have been because of cover close by or other food sources that the deer were going to. I'm here in ag country at the edge of a field, and there's corn and beans, there's options all around. And that can play a big factor into how much your deer are eating your food plot. So overall, I would say I'm fairly happy with the Whitetail Institute Clover plot. Stay tuned for year 2. This is just a review of year 1. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you found this helpful, it'd be super nice if you would leave a like on it. And if you want to help me hit my goal of 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, if you subscribe, that would really help me out a lot. And turn on the notification bell if you want to get a notification every time we upload a new video. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys on the next one. End it.